What's going on, Thunder Nation? Welcome back for another edition of Coffee Talk. We're located here at Village Inn, Central and Ridge Road. Jason Miles, and joining us on this edition of Coffee Talk is Kansas native and Thunder forward Ryan Finnegan. Thanks for taking time to come over here and visit with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You guys had a pretty good weekend. You got to be happy with the turnout against Utah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Anytime you can get 5 out of 6 points on the weekend, you can't complain. So, yeah, it's a good weekend for the guys.
What did you like about the way you guys played?
It was good. I think, obviously, that first game, losing that first one late, kind of giving up that goal late to give them come back. I think it was just good seeing our team respond the next night, and then coming into Sunday too, just coming off break, that third game can kind of be tough. So I think it was good seeing our team just resilient and a good effort put forward on that last game of the weekend there.
Now, on Friday night, have you been a part of a game like that before? Reagan and I were just in awe of the amount of offense that you guys were.
Yeah, I don't know if I have. I think that was all the guys in the locker room we were talking about after. It's just what a wild game that was, back and forth with all the goals. It seemed like one goal would get scored, and then 30 seconds later, puck drops, and another one was in the back of the net. So, yeah, that was a crazy game back and forth, but, yeah.
Got to be happy with the resiliency of you guys being able to come back from that 3-goal deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then, Tyreek coming in, too, and just really playing well for us, and seeing the guys come back and just not give up in the third period, going into that second intermission. I think just in the locker room, we had a good mindset, and we liked how we were playing, and just if we kept competing, we knew that the game we could come back, and sure enough we did. So
really impressed by the way the three of you, the line that you guys had on Saturday night. What's been gelling with you, Kyle, and Spencer?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think we've been playing well for the past couple weeks. Sometimes, the bounces just don't go your way. And it was good to see this weekend, that last game, the puck just go in the back of the net. I think we were kind of having some laughs and just kind of it's about time, it seemed like we were due. So, no, it was good to see those go in the back of the net and, just continue to create chemistry game in game. And then, Blackwell, he's always humming. And then Jeffers, we have that history of playing together at school. So I think just kind of bringing back that natural chemistry, it's been good.
Yeah, speaking of Kyle Jeffers, that goes back to college. Talk about that relationship. What was that like knowing he was coming here and you were familiar with him?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Even before we had picked him up off waivers, we were texting back and forth of, maybe this was something that was going to actually happen. And when he showed up, it was just so good to see him again because we had played at Lindenwood for 2 years together and we lived at school together. So we're pretty close buddies. And then seeing him come back to Wichita and then us now playing on a line together, it just seems like we're back to the old days at school. So, yeah, it's been a blast.
So you two were roommates back in college?
Yeah, we lived together. And then another one of our roommates was Andy Willis, who was here last year. So it's pretty funny that I've had the opportunity now to play with two of my former roommates at school, but yeah.
Any awesome. Interesting college stories that you have about Kyle you're allowed to share?
Yeah, nothing too crazy that I can think of off the hop, but no, he was a great roommate and great friend, so yeah.
Ryan Finnegan joining us here on Coffee Talk. Don't forget you can get a free slice of pie every Wednesday over here at Village Inn at all the locations in the Wichita Metro, including Derby and Hutchinson. But why don't we switch gears a little bit? I know we've talked a couple of times about the history of you being from Kansas, but now that you're in another year with the Thunder, what does that mean to you to kind of keep that legacy going?
Yeah, it's great. It seems like every year that I come back here, it just feels more like home. I'd say it's nice only being a couple hours from, where I grew up, but it just seems like the fans, every year you come back and you see the same fans that are so supportive, and it's such a good community to play in front of the great fans that we have here. So I think that's fun for me, is just coming back and seeing the familiar faces year in, year out that you get to kind of get closer with and build those relationships with. So.
Do you feel like you've grown a bigger relationship with, some of the closer family that's around the area? I know, like Rick Bernard, for instance, who is a cousin that you really didn't know much about until you got here.
Right. Yeah, no, it's always really cool running into family that you didn't really know you had. So I think when I first came in my first year, just meeting him and kind of to grow that relationship. And then now whenever I see him at the rink, it's really easy just natural communication with family, and
Sure.
it's really cool being able to have that relationship around in a new city that you come into for sure.
It's funny. I had a story that we were talking about off air, but when we were up in Kansas City, you had a bunch of family and friends and family out at the game, and I ran into your mom, and we were kind of joking around about how, unfortunately, you had a hard time getting one in the net because they kept hitting the post or
Yeah,
whatnot. But that had to have been really cool to have that much family in Kansas City watching you.
yeah. So Kansas City, that's a fun place for me to play because it's even closer to home than it is to Wichita here. It's only an hour from my house, so and then that's where I grew up playing hockey too as well. So I have a lot of friends that are in the Kansas City area that whenever we're playing, they'll ask for some tickets, and it's always good to reconvene with them. And then yeah, anytime you can see family and get them at the games, it's pretty special.
Speaking of family, you have a sister that is playing college hockey. How close are you with her? First of all, and second of all, have you had a chance to see her play out there in Delaware?
Yeah, yeah, we're really close, brother sister. Growing up, we'd train together. She's played hockey her whole life too, so I think that's just been special. Being able to train in the gym and then shoot pucks in our basement together, growing up, has been really cool. And then yeah, just watching her progress, and she was named the captain of the new Division 1 Delaware program there. So her leadership, and she's having a really successful year too, production wise. So it's always good to see her. I was able to go out before our season started for their home opener, and she happened to actually score that weekend. So it was just really special, I think, getting to go watch her kind of towards the end of her career as well. Just how successful she's doing and what a career she's had.
That's got to be pretty special. Her being named the first captain of program history.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know she takes a lot of pride in that. And yeah, she's got unbelievable leadership and is such a good teammate, so supportive. So yeah, I'm super proud of her and everything she's accomplished.
Has she talked to you about post college, what she's looking at doing?
Yeah, I think she wants to stay involved in the game of hockey. Whether there was an opportunity to play after school, I think she's open to that. And if that door doesn't open up, I think she'd love getting into the coaching scene as well. Whether that's coaching for a college or a youth program, I know she's very open to that idea as well.
Have you guys talked about the family business, hockey camps in the off season, something like that?
Yeah, definitely. We actually started our own little summer skill development program that me and her and then a couple of other buddies will help out with. But that's been pretty special, just especially with her living so far away in Delaware now, and then last year not being at Lindenwood together. I think it's fun coming back in the summertime and being able to run those camps, do things like that. We actually ran one down here in Wichita. That was our first one down here this summer, so that was a really cool experience for me and my sister to do.
How'd you decide to get involved in something like that?
Well, so I was talking with Stanell, and he honestly he wants to get involved. I think with coaching whenever he's done playing. So we've always talked about doing something with the youth programs here in Wichita and just trying to get something going. And we thought it'd be a really good opportunity to run like a 3-day camp here and kind of get our names and give the kids in Wichita the opportunity to kind of work with Thunder players and just get exposed to that. So yeah, that's something that we did this summer, and we loved it. It was a great experience, and yeah, it worked out nice.
Have you thought about growing that outside of this area, going into different markets?
Yeah, Kansas City, that's an area that I go back to in the summer, and then St. Louis. I was living in St. Louis this past summer, so I was running a couple camps out there as well. But yeah, I'd say probably just like the Midwest areas is kind of something that we'll look to kind of build off of for sure.
Sure. Ryan Finnegan joining us. Speaking of your time in college, what was that like when you were with Lindenwood and they transitioned from ACHA into Division One?
Yeah, so I was recruited when they were a club program. We played 4 years of club there, and we hadn't got the announcement that we were officially going D1 until the end of my senior year. So I didn't even know if I was going to get the opportunity to play Division 1. But then once that announcement came out, my coaching staff had given me the opportunity to come back and do a 5th year with the whole COVID situation. And yeah, I said absolutely. I thought that would just be an incredible opportunity, something I've always dreamed of. to play Division I hockey. So that last year was super fun, just getting exposed to playing like the big schools, Minnesota, Michigan, North Dakota. Something that you kind of, when you're a kid growing up, I think you look up to those teams and what an opportunity that would be. So then being on the sheet again, playing against those guys, it was pretty special to finally make it there and be a part of that transition.
I mean, that doesn't happen all that often that you're going from club to Division I, and you had the opportunity to stay there and play and be successful.
Yeah. Super blessed. Had a great coaching staff that gave me that opportunity to come back, and they had faith in me, and I always believed in my opportunities or in my capabilities to play at that next level. So then getting that opportunity and being to go out and prove it, I think that was pretty special to me for sure.
Well, that's pretty awesome to hear. It's interesting to see how you've been able to progress from your college days up here to the pros. What do you think is maybe the strength of your game at this point of your career, and what you'd like to improve on?
Yeah, I think as far as my strengths, I'd say just my skating. I try to play a fast game, speed, and then probably my playmaking too. I feel like I'm probably usually a pass first over shooting when I should probably be shooting the puck a little bit more. But I do like to make plays, try and find my teammates out there. Something that I can definitely improve on, I'd say my strength, just being a little stronger in those puck battles and trying to come out with those. So something that I can always try and improve on, getting to the gym, getting stronger, things like that.
He must be listening to us, because on the air we say, hey, these guys need to shoot the puck, right?
Yeah,
so.
I can be guilty of that.
Real quickly before we close up shop, why don't we run through a couple of rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit more outside of the rink.
Yeah.
We asked Lucas Van Roboys a couple of these, and he had a hard time with it. So hopefully we don't I'm not saying make you struggle, but stump you is maybe the word I'm looking for.
Fire
right?
Away. Let's do it.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I'll just go Miracle on Ice. Keep it a classic for.
Are we talking the Miracle with
Miracle on Ice, like USA versus Russia?
I don't know. I'm talking about the movie Miracle made by Disney or the documentary?
The movie made by Disney.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure
Classic.
Yeah, that is a classic movie. Favorite animal?
I'll go with puppies, dogs.
Any breed?
I got a Yorkie back home, so I'll say Yorkies.
Those dogs are
cute.
interesting.
They're cute.
My sister used to have one.
Yeah.
It used to follow her everywhere.
Yeah, they're very loving dogs for sure.
Favorite dessert?
Dessert?
Do you eat dessert?
Yeah, I'd say I keep it pretty simple. Maybe like an ice cream, like a warm brownie with some ice cream.
That's always a go-to.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pretty simple, just pepperoni, I'd say.
Okay.
Nothing too out of the ordinary there.
How about your favorite band? What kind of music are you into?
Band. I'd say probably like house, electric style. Nothing too crazy, but Rufus Du Sol. They're like a European group that does kind of house music. So yeah, I'd say that.
Who's the DJ in the room?
Usually Neener, my roommate. Yeah, he usually hops on the aux and he does a good job. So.
What's he usually play?
He plays everything. We got to use a good variety of what goes on in the locker room, whether it's country. I'd say usually country midweek during like the practice days, and then for the games, whether it be rap, electric music, something a little more upbeat to kind of get us going.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song?
I don't think I do. I honestly can't think of one off the top of my head.
Sam in our office, Sam Schneider, likes to listen to Katy Perry. So
Katy Perry,
there you go.
Can't say I'm the biggest fan. But...
How about favorite movie quote?
Favorite movie quote. I don't know if I have a specific movie quote, but I'd say if I had to, probably the majority of movie quotes that I hear would probably be like Happy Gilmore. I think there's a good majority of movie quotes that get sauced around the locker room with that. So I'd say Happy Gilmore.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Probably Carrie Underwood.
I think that probably would stick in most.
Yeah.
At your age, or even around,
I know growing up, she was pretty attractive, so I'd give it to her.
What was your favorite moment in sports growing
up? I'd say, like personally, when I was at Lindenwood and we won a national championship. I think that was pretty special. We ended up hosting at our home rink, so just being able to win that in front of our students and our fans back home, I think that was a pretty special memory.
When you were growing up, this is the final question here.
Yeah.
Outside of hockey, did you have a profession you were interested in trying to get into?
Um, Not really. I'd say I was pretty dialed in on hockey. I loved it growing up.
Okay.
I did always like to golf. Anytime I was getting out, my dad was a big golfer back in the day. He grew up playing golf in high school, so I feel like when I was younger, that was maybe something that my dad was trying to get me into, get the clubs in my hands a little bit when I was younger. Um, but yeah, I'd say that's about it.
Ryan Finnegan, the PGA professional over at Sand Creek Station Golf Course.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Big weekend coming up. You play Allen 4 times. I'm sure that. I mean, that's a lot to see one opponent in 1 week, and those are some big games as we look at the standings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's in our locker rooms pretty fired up. We know how important these games are with the standings, like you said. It's neck and neck, and the standings are so tight right now. I think it's just important that we go in, have a good mindset, and just kind of build on what we did this past weekend, sticking together as a team. And even when things aren't going your way, if you get down early, sticking together, battling back, and just fighting through.
Do you feel like it's different when you play a team like Allen as opposed to any of the other teams in the division?
Yeah, I'd say, every team has, their own pre-scout that we'll go over. But I'd say every team in our division's good this year, and you got to go in ready to play every single night. Whether it's the first team in our division or last team, anyone can win in this league.
I'm referring to the rivalry part of it, though.
The rivalry, I think games can get chippy, whether it's Kansas City, Allen, even Utah this last weekend you saw. It can get chippy. So I wouldn't say there's a specific team that it gets more chippy than another.
Especially with your former teammate, Braden Watts, on the other side.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me, Mulder.
Not a problem. That's Ryan Finnegan, of course, from outside of Topeka, Kansas. We'll talk to you next week, folks. Thanks again for watching Coffee Talk. Don't forget to get that free slice of pie with the purchase of anything here over at Village Inn. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.